My name is Julia Holdnack, and I wanted to talk about, my name is, hi, my name is Julia Holdnack, and I wanted to talk a little bit about my game, Penelope Pendrick and the Art of Deceit. I wanted to make a little video series kind of talking about, first of all, my journey and how the game began, and second of all, just delve more into some of the behind the scenes of what actually goes into a game like this. Penelope Pendrick is a 2D first-person point-and-click adventure game. It was directly inspired by the Nancy Drew games by Her Interactive, which were a very big part of my childhood growing up, and probably the reason I am in this field today. So we could say the very start of this game was way back on that fateful day in probably 2002 maybe, when I found Nancy Drew, the final scene, in a Walmart. It was the first Nancy Drew game I'd ever played. I would have been 7 years old. That was really the start of something that would remain with me the rest of my life for a long time as the games came out. I mean, of course, I was always a huge fan. As I got older and was learning more technical skills, I guess, I really built off of Nancy Drew type stuff. So for example, when I got, let's just say Photoshop elements or something, when I was 13, I started to make things like desktop backgrounds. And another big thing that I did for many years, I kept up with it. For some reason, my specific movie making program could actually rip sound files from the Her Interactive games. So what I would do would be make these big compilations of music and then add, you know, animations like transitions and stuff like that to make it look cool. I even burnt them onto DVDs so you can watch them at home. And like many of the fans of these games, I bought them every time they came out, which was 2 times a year. The company that made them, Her Interactive, started to hit a slump after their 32nd game, The Sea of Darkness. It was obvious that something wasn't quite right with the game that was coming up next, Midnight in Salem. So at this point in time, I was in college, and I was working a really slow job at a dry cleaner, so I had so much time to think. I was kind of daydreaming my own ideas for a Nancy Drew game. I had this really smart idea. I'm gonna write a script. I'm gonna send it to Her Interactive. They clearly need help. This will help them for future games because they'll already have a script to work from. Because that's just something that companies will do ever. I was a fool. So I kept doing it. After many months, I had a full-length script, and it had, you know, all the game details, like what happens when and all that. It wasn't just dialogue. I called the game Nancy Drew, The Elusive Loss. I was like, okay, it's ready. And I got up all this courage and I sent it to like customer support at Her Interactive because I didn't know who to send it to. And they were like, wow, this is great. Thanks for sending this. We like to see fans make things. I was like, oh no, that doesn't sound good. I kind of asked them again, like, can you use any of this? Then they came back with like, no, we can't even legally read it because if we accidentally use something, then you could sue us and that would be bad. That was a hard blow. Oh, all that work down the drain. That was months of work. Well, okay, you know what? Her Interactive isn't going to pick up my game, so I'll just make one myself. And I can learn how to do that, right? I was in school for multimedia design, which I mainly had a focus on graphic design. And then on top of that, it was more of a broad spectrum type media degree. I had a little bit of a usable background to start with, at least in terms of art. I also had picked up the program called Blender 3D, which is a very cool, very amazing piece of free technology that is a very powerful 3D workspace. I didn't even do the donut tutorial. I did like wine glasses and a teddy bear tutorial, but that was about my extent of my 3D skills at that point. So that's how that began. I knew that I personally could do the writing, the game design aspects. I knew I could do the puzzles. The art, I was confident I could learn. The only thing that I felt uncertain about was the programming, because I don't think I'd even opened Unity before. That felt very intimidating to me. But at the time, I had someone who said that they could help. So that was the step that made me say, okay, this could be possible. It was an exciting time. There's a lot that I wanted to capture from the Nancy Drew games that were just elements that I really loved. Some of my favorites were just how incredibly detailed the environments are and how well they captured atmosphere. I wanted to have all the little details. I wanted to be able to look at everything, you know, really a focus on exploration. I wanted a script that had lots of character development, lots of twists and turns, real suspense, real danger, real surprises. I love puzzles that kind of relied on the environment, like the ones that incorporate what's around you. I like when they would bring in real history or real historical figures and tie it into a plot. And of course, also lots of secret passages. That's probably the most important thing. So yeah, I had my vision and I was all ready to go. This was 2015. This was the beginning. I hope to make more videos on the background of how some of the things came together, because it's a wild ride. At least it was for me. So I hope to see you again.